Hey guys, and welcome to the Entrepreneurs Exhale. I have a new special guest with us here today, Chef Lawless. I had to write down all her accolades because I could not remember them by memory. I know, you're like crushing it. Winner Supermarket Stakeout 2, Hell's Kitchen 19 Top 10, Master Chef 8 Top 40, Roku Sushi Master, Food Network Chopped 54, Travel Channel, and she also has her own brand, Lawless Beer Co. You are
and
one busy lady.
Did another show.
I
can't say if I won or not, but you have to watch.
Oh,
possibly. So that comes up probably.
Which can you say which show it is?
Show. It's on Dropout TV. It's a brand new cooking show. So.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, you guys have to
tune into that.
6 months to a year, yeah. So.
Yeah, you are quite the busy lady. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, I have my beer company just opened, Lawless Beer Co. I have a blonde right now and an IPA.
Wow.
I have a hazy coming out next, crazy hazy. And then I have my Flawless Cuisine, my catering company.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I cook for a lot of celebrities, a lot of athletes.
Well, that's actually how I met you. So let's take it all the way back to when I first started my entrepreneurial journey. When I first started Executives Extension, one of my oldest and longest standing clients is Dave Champagne for Champagne Yacht.
Okay, yeah.
And so you were on the yacht and you were cooking. Yeah. You had a private event.
Yes.
And I was just floored. Like, her food was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm partnered up with him, so I do all his catering on his boat. So.
Yeah. So I was like, I couldn't believe how good the food is. Like,
yeah, that was a long time ago.
It was 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I launched my business, and man, I've been trying to get you as a client ever since. But yeah, she's very talented, and I've always say, like, I'm not a foodie because I really can't eat a lot, just like physically cannot eat a lot. But I'm a food critic because I'll tell you if it's good or not, and
Me too.
I'm pretty tough. So
it's hard for me to eat out because everyone's like, just ate at your house because. It takes a lot for me to impress. We have anime right here, right?
Yeah,
pretty good. And
anime is pretty good.
There's a lot of good spots in Little Italy.
But I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Jersey, where I feel like the food is made with so much flavor, and they're not as health conscious.
Yeah, that's California. California's very healthy. Yeah, people want like a lot of vegan, healthy food. And my husband's from. I had a brain fart. My husband, he likes seasoned food. So
yeah,
he's black.
Girl, I get it.
He's from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm from San Diego, and my daughter's Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
and then my two boys are Brazilian. So
a lot of culture in your family.
I grew up in a Japanese kitchen, so I do Asian fusion.
That's why I love your food so much, because I love Asian food.
Anything that's fusion.
I feel like I was Asian in a prior life.
I'm German, but nobody wants to eat German food. I'm sorry. German food's not that great. So, I do a little bit of everything depending on our mood. So,
yeah, 100%. That's awesome. Well, I want to know more about like your journey from start to finish. Like, how did you even get into being a chef? How did you start from one show to the next, then you actually became a full-fledged entrepreneur? Like,
I did.
I want to know the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the highlights, and the hardships.
Jeez. So, my ex-husband was a drug dealer. So I kind of like got thrown into the world. I didn't have any experience, no education. I was a mom. I had like a 2-year-old daughter, 3-year-old daughter at the time. And I didn't know what to do. No idea.
Like a mob wife. Look at you.
Pretty much. Yeah, I never worked. Just stayed at home, took care of the kids.
The shoe fits.
Yeah, I did. He was a pretty big drug dealer. And then I met my now husband, and he always did business sales, and he got me into doing sales. And I sold dogs. I sold technology. I sold cars, software. Name it. I sold it. I hated it. Nobody likes sitting cold calling 200 people a day. So that's what I did for years and years. And I saw a casting one day for MasterChef in my break room, and I was like, I always wanted to do cooking.
When was this? What year was this?
God, this was over 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
I saw casting. I was at the Marriott for come try out. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do a cooking competition show. What you got?
He's got allergies.
Yeah. I always wanted to do a cooking competition show because it's something I grew up watching. Two Fat Ladies and Iron Chef with my mom, and I was like, God, I would love to do that one day because I loved food. I was always cooking.
But you were never a professional chef yet.
Never. Self-taught. This is something like I always grew up like in the kitchen. My mom shot and killed my dad when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
So I turned to food for comfort.
A story.
I would, go hide in the kitchen. I would cook and just get my mind off things, put on music, and just cook away. So food was kind of like my savior. That's like kind of my story.
Yeah.
And I I always love food. I love, the smells and the culture and the cuisine. And like, there's so much that I loved about food. I always wanted to be on a cooking competition show because I'm very competitive by nature and I like to win. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I quit my job because my job at the time was like, no, you can't go. So my man was like, fuck it,
Which
quit.
job was this? Not the selling dogs.
No, it was I worked for Snap-on.
Okay. Oh, Snap-on. Yeah.
And my boss was an asshole, and he's like, "No, you can't quit. You can't have time off." So I was like, "Fuck you." I left. Peace out. And from there, I tried out. I made it. I made the top 40 out of 34,000 people. I actually
Wow.
made the first episode on MasterChef, and they decided not to air it.
Oh my
And it wasn't just
goodness.
me; it was like a few other people. They didn't show our first episode, so I had a huge viewing party.
And you
Invited
weren't
everybody
on?
out
Oh, no.
at El Chingon years ago and had this huge party, and they never showed my fucking episode. So I was like mortified. It was devastating, and I was like, you know what?
And they don't tell you in advance.
No.
You just have to watch
I was
and see.
pissed.
Oh,
so from there, I was like, you know
no.
what? I'm gonna make a name for myself. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm a celebrity chef, and I did every single magazine, newspaper, food festival, TV show that I possibly could do. Just
You
it took me
manifested
years.
it.
Exactly.
Wow.
So from there, I did
Good for
Travel
you.
Channel Best in Food. Then I was a winner of Supermarket Stakeout, which like was career changing for me because it's really big to win a show,
100%.
And I killed it on that show. And then I did a Hell's Kitchen. I was in the top 10. I was the only chef out of all the other chefs that had never worked in a kitchen. I'm a self-taught private chef. Everyone had tons of experience. So I beat tons of people with more experience.
Literally going to culinary school and all of that.
And they're just haters, I'm hotter and I was a better chef. So a lot of haters on that show.
Talk your shit.
Yeah, a lot of haters on that show. I'm still friends with like one to this day, but everyone else is a hater. And then from there, I just did Chopped. I was on Roku, Sushi Master, which was like, for me, it was like a dream come true. He was my idol. I grew up watching the old school Iron Chef, like where they do backflips and like the pepper. And like that was like my show growing up. My mom would always watch that show. So getting to learn from Morimoto was pretty life changing for me.
Wow.
Yeah, got to make sushi with the Sushi Master. And then I just did another show, so you guys will have to tune in for that.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Like, this is a perfect example of what we preach in entrepreneurship all the time, right? It's like, you have to believe in yourself, because how are others going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? You're your biggest fan. 100%.
100%.
And you literally manifested this.
I totally believe in manifestation because I literally did a vision board party with my friend like a couple months ago, and I was like, this year,
I want an invite to
what
the
I'm
next
gonna
one.
do. Yeah, you should come. And I want to have my own frozen food line. And literally 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from Pura Vida. They are the largest frozen food manufacturer in the U.S. and they only do the best quality, highest ingredients. It's like frozen food you've never had before. Like it tastes fresh. There's still a crunch. There's still texture. It is really good quality. So I actually have my own frozen food line that's going to be out Costco. It's going to be in Sprouts, Albertsons, every store across the U.S. So you guys can go to the store and pick up my food.
That's always been my kind of concern with frozen food is it's like it's not fresh. It doesn't have that crunch. Like that.
They actually have a patent on the way that they do things. So like they flash cook it and then they put it right in this like thing that just like chars it.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible flavor. Yeah, I still got a bite because I don't eat frozen food.
Are you going to do a tasting party?
Yeah, we should.
I can actually help you like organize that. I do like special event planning too.
Yeah, so I have 4 life bowls coming out and they're global because I like global cuisine. And then I actually am working on a new kids line that's going to be in a huge place. I just can't say where yet because they're under contract, but everybody knows this place. It's huge. So I have the kids life bowls and I have skillets coming out. I have soups coming out. So they all say by Chef Lawless. And
this is interesting that we're having this conversation because I've realized that there's a need in the marketplace for something that doesn't exist. And I wonder if this is something you and I could actually talk about because a lot of people didn't know this about me until I opened up about it on my other segment of my podcast, which is called Victory. It's where I tell my personal story. And I used to be 250 pounds.
No way.
At my heaviest.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
well, you look great, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I did have some help, medical help, right? I had gastric bypass surgery.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And so because of that, I'm challenged when it comes to eating. Like I can't eat a lot.
You can't eat a lot. My best friend Maxine, her mom had it. So she can hardly eat anything. Your stomach's teeny.
Exactly.
A couple bites of food and that's fine.
But I think that's the challenge after weight loss, right? Like that significant amount of weight loss and having that surgery with those limitations is that for somebody who's dedicated to a healthier lifestyle now, like
Mm-hmm.
myself, like I literally go to the gym anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week as often as I can. I have a very active lifestyle now. I want to do what all the gym rats do. I
Yeah.
want to meal prep. I
Yeah.
want to eat healthy. But it almost doesn't make sense for me because of the amount that I can eat.
Yeah.
And I have challenges of like, time. Like I have 3 businesses,
Yeah.
I got a podcast. Like I don't have the time to meal prep.
It's a big
So
commitment, meal
it
prep.
would be awesome to have like a frozen food or meal prep company that's dedicated to that.
This is great. You should definitely try the lines that I came. They're like super low cal. I think everything's like 230.
What are the portion sizes?
It's like the perfect size. It's a small bowl. And
Oh,
like one of them
perfect.
fills me up, so I
Yeah.
think it'd be great for you.
Yeah.
For a bigger guy, probably need two.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like I said, the sodium's low. It's really healthy. Best of the best ingredients.
I
You'd
can't
love
wait
it.
to try
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'll
That
bring you
sounds
some
awesome.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go next week. I'll grab some for you.
That would be awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like your journey has been like obviously you put in the work, right? Like
Yeah.
now
It took me over
you
7 years.
truly are
Yeah.
a celebrity chef now.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get the respect just because obviously the way that I look, I don't look like your
That's
average
what I want to
chef.
hear about
The
more.
nails, the
Yeah.
hair, the boobs, like people don't take me seriously until they try my food. Like I did an
Right.
event at where was it? What's the place downtown? Where the pool party is.
The pool party. Oh,
What's the hotel? And they
Lionfish,
have provisional.
Pendry.
The Pendry.
Yeah.
I did an event with like Brian Malarkey, Rich
Mhm.
Blaze, Claudia Sandoval, like some of the best.
Yeah.
And I was told that I had the best food at that event over all those chefs.
I believe
had
it.
a line around the block. You know what I
So
mean?
good.
And it took people trying my food to respect me. Like I did a podcast not too long ago with San Diego Magazine with Troy. And
Yeah.
he's like, I never ever respected you. I wouldn't give you the time of day or talk to you just because of the way you looked. And he's like, I'm so sorry that I judged you. He's like, because I had your food and your food was better than everybody's food. Exactly. That's why you don't judge a book
Isn't
by
that
its
the
cover.
best affirmation
Yeah.
to receive?
Exactly.
I get that too.
But I respected that he said that and he apologized about it. I'm like,
yeah,
great. It's good to hear that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But so much of that happens in business, especially towards
Totally.
women,
Totally.
and in a male-dominated industry at that.
Especially when you're sexy, you know what I mean? People don't think you're smart.
Right.
Successful.
Do you know how many
But we are.
times I have gotten compared in a corporate atmosphere, right? And my role as an executive assistant supporting the CEOs, the CFOs, presidents of these
Yeah.
companies. I have an Ivy League education.
Good for you.
Thank you. It's my degree right there
Good
on the
for
wall.
you. Yeah, you better put that shit up there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I have over 10 years experience. I can run circles around.
But it's because
these
you're
people.
beautiful.
But
people think you're
so
ditzy.
many people will compare me to a freaking Kardashian.
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to say Kardashian.
All the time.
But guess what? Kardashians don't have any talent. You do.
Right. But I mean, they're amazing businesswomen now, right?
Because their mother
I was going to say, because their momager.
Their mom is the businesswoman. Yeah.
100%.
They're lucky for her.
Yeah. She set them up for success. They have a great manager. But at the same time, it's like, it's frustrating, right? Yeah. Because it's like, to have that amazing skill set and then be judged from the outside. Oh,
that's
she only got hired.
It took me so long in the industry.
Yeah.
Especially I'm in a male-dominated industry. It's really hard. And looking like I do, especially with the nails, you don't see chefs like that.
Yeah.
It's just like who I am.
Or they say, oh, she only got hired because the boss had a hard on for her.
Of course.
Or like how many times were you blamed? Oh, she only got onto the show because she slept her way to the top.
Yeah. Or she's hot or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So how have you navigated that?
I mean, I just let it slide off. It doesn't bother me.
Same.
I've dealt with it forever. I mean, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
They aren't talking about you and doing something right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Haters is how you know you made it, right?
Exactly.
What other, I mean, as you launch an entire product line, like the beer company you have, now you have this frozen food company that's coming out. I'm sure you've had some challenges along the way with that. Like what is that?
I mean, like? It's a big investment and, people have to, people are scared to take risks. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to put in the work and take chances or you're never going to succeed. You know what I mean? You have to, people are so in their bubble and they're so comfortable that they don't take chances. And that's why they stay where they are. Like me, I'm like on to the next. I've had a restaurant. I had a food truck. They didn't work. And guess what? I lost money, but guess what? I still went on to the next and I made it happen. So you have to be willing to, take that L. Take the loss and keep moving and keep pushing. So
I think that's so spot on, like and that's really why I started this segment to begin with, because I think in entrepreneurship, so many times we showcase our highlights and our wins, but not always the journey.
Exactly. People are like
that where people see all the losses.
You make so much money, but you don't know how much I've lost to get to where I am. You know what I mean? It took me 7 years.
Yeah.
to get to a comfortable place in my life. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
didn't realize what I wanted to do till I was 27 years old.
Yeah.
I went to cosmetology school. I went to freaking Paul Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I went to, you know, I almost
So
got
you
my
pivoted quite a
AA,
bit.
and I wanted to do law, and then I wanted to do business. I'm like, what am I going to school for business for when I own my own business? I don't need an AA. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
AA is an associate's degree,
Yeah.
not AA
no,
Alcoholics Anonymous. Just want to make sure I clarify
not
that.
alcoholics, but yeah, associate's degree.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't need all that. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's just trial and error. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
like I said, you have to be willing to put in the time and the work. It takes a lot of time to get to where you want to be.
I talk about that too in Victory because I actually used to do self-taught makeup artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, I started off my career in corporate finance. I transitioned into business administration. It's like I've done a bunch of different things too, you know, and like once you start in entrepreneurship, I feel like you catch the bug, just like a travel bug,
Exactly.
right? It's like once you have one business,
Oh,
then you become a serial entrepreneur.
We just opened, we just partnered with it's at your jet. So it's a private concierge company. So pretty much my catering company caters for all the private jets here in San Diego.
Amazing.
So I get a percentage of what the company makes a year, plus my catering company gets all the profit of making the money from the catering.
Yeah.
So now we're also doing at your yacht, and at your jet. So that's a new company we invested in. My husband and I have a marketing company. We have labs across the U.S. We have cannabis companies. We have investment properties. You know, we have tons of stuff. So it's just like, one after another after another. It's just finding that, you know, your foot in the door and starting from somewhere.
I want to talk more about that because, you know, what I've noticed, I'm still single, unfortunately. It's not my choice. You know, I'm just waiting for the right one.
Guys are douches.
They are. Let's be honest. I mean,
I didn't talk to my husband for the last 2 days. So, you know.
First husband didn't work out, was a drug dealer. Yeah,
okay.
Second husband, we got a winner here, it sounds like. So, I mean, picking that partner who is also entrepreneurial, who also can help you.
He was always an entrepreneur, but together as a team, we're just way better, obviously. You know
yeah.
I mean?
So, in what ways do you think he's been able to help you to push things to the finish line?
I mean, he taught me so much. Like I said, I didn't have the education, didn't have the experience, didn't have knowledge. So for
what's his background?
He actually has he builds companies from the ground up. So he has a background in
like software. A Mark Cuban or
yeah, sure.
Kinda,
he's almost there. Yeah, he's getting there. I mean, he's the first millionaire in his family. So
amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
he got any friends? Single friends?
His brother's pretty hot. Yeah. Oh my God. Try know him. Probably know him.
Quite really?
Gustavo, do you know him?
I don't think so.
You guys will love each other. You're definitely his type.
But yeah, I mean, I think it makes such a big difference when you are partnered up with somebody who's very successful, who gets what your goals is, who can teach you things and help you to bring things to the finish line. Because, you know, entrepreneurship alone is hard as it is, right? But if you have a service-based business, all it is your services you're providing, and you could be somewhat profitable pretty quick, right? But when you have a product that you're developing, and you have to come up with the capital to bring that to market, there could be a lot of challenges.
Capital's hard. That's a lot of problem for a lot of even friends I have that are starting businesses. Money, credit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's nice to know people and think I have my husband's credit and his money to help me. I was going to say, I make good money too, but like he's my investor. Like I have 2 kitchen inventions coming out soon that I plan on retiring next year off of. I will retire off these.
That's awesome.
I've been working on for 7 years. I just paid 30-something thousand patents for these. You know, I never had the money to patent this.
God works in mysterious ways. So I just came up with an idea that I want to make a prototype for.
And I know how to help you with that.
And I need to get it patented. I'm like, the way that the synergies, I love this.
So I have 2 kitchen inventions coming out on them next year. So yeah, I mean.
Are you able to speak about them at all?
No.
No, everything's like.
It's a knife invention.
Yeah. Ooh.
2 knife inventions, but I can't say what it is.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff in motion. This is
do.
Awesome.
And then, you know, I'm working on tequila, wine. I'm going to do a women's clothing line, a chef clothing line. Like I want to partner with like Fashion Nova or something. Cute for
I
want
chefs.
2-piece sets. Yeah. I want dresses down to the knee with zippers. I want fabric, color. Everything is like not form fitting. And I have big boobs, small waist. Like everything's just boxy and ugly. And I'm like taking pictures all the time. I want something cute, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
So I have to get custom made chef coats. So I'm like, why don't I just make my own clothing line? And I know someone that can get me a New York Fashion Week, you know, so that's my plan for next year.
That's so dope. I actually did New York Fashion Week, the makeup
for
it.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love
I
to
have
do
an
that.
episode out on that right now too. It's such an experience being behind the scenes in that kind of environment.
It's
It's
probably
wild.
fast paced, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It goes like that. And you're just like, what just happened?
And you saw my book just came out.
Yeah.
So last year I had my cookbook come out, and I would like to do another one. It's just so time consuming and so much money.
So you got some book signings going
Yeah,
on,
I really,
probably some.
I've been slacking right now. I've been traveling a lot, so I had a PR team that I fired here, and I'm hoping to hire another one here soon because they don't hustle like I do.
Yeah.
They don't do the amount of work
You
that I
need
do.
someone who matches your energy. It's
Exactly.
so
So
important.
I found somebody, and they've already got me like deals with Costco for my book and Home Goods, and that's who got me the wine and tequila
Yeah.
contract and
I
things. So
got
I'm
a few
waiting.
connections in PR too that I could
Okay.
probably set you up
Yeah.
with.
So that's
Yeah.
like my biggest problem is, yeah, I do
That's
everything on my own right now.
yeah.
It's hard. It's a lot.
Well, that's actually a perfect transition to how I like to normally close out this segment, because what I do, this Entrepreneurs Exhale, is kind of a spin-off to bring entrepreneurs on to talk about their journey. But I support entrepreneurs. I support small business owners because I'm an executive assistant. So I have that corporate background
Yep.
where I supported C-suite level executives. And then around the time that I met you in July 2020, that summer,
That was like the beginning. Like
that was the very beginning.
yeah,
I
that's
was
like when I first
probably
started.
about like 1 to 2 months into entrepreneurship. I was
that's
very
like
new in
when
my
I really,
journey.
I think that's like right when I started working with Dave, and like since I just cook for NASA. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
cook for Kobe Bryant. I
Yeah.
cook for incredible people. I get to travel all over. This year, I mean, I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Seattle. I'm going to Temecula. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to Europe. I got a free 11-day cruise to go do a cooking demo on a cruise ship for one day.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. I'm taking my daughter. We got first class flight, all you can eat, drink.
That's awesome.
I get paid, and I get to go on a cruise.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much better,
Yeah,
right?
but again, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the time.
Yeah.
You have to take those risks. Get out and mingle, meet people, put yourself out there, be vulnerable. That's all that you can do, and you gotta fall before you rise. You have to
100%.
go through the setbacks and the failures so that you can learn from those and grow from those. So people, like I said, people are just too scared.
Yeah. But it's true though that you can't do it by yourself. Like a lot
you
of
have to have a
people,
support system, friends, family, doesn't matter what it is.
well, it's more than just that, right? So that's kind of what I was trying to get into, is like when I left corporate, I created my consultancy called Executives Extension to provide executive assistance to entrepreneurs and small business owners. I feel like there was a gap in the marketplace. A lot of times people are working with assistants that are overseas in the Philippines or Indonesia. And for people of your status, your husband's status, that are, doing big shit, you need someone who can kind of be an extension of you, someone who can help you to manage all the millions of things you have going on.
I need help.
Right? And so I know you've worked with an assistant in the past.
Normally, I did have an assistant. Now my assistant's my nanny.
Oh, really?
She was my assistant. Now she's my nanny.
I've heard that happen so many times.
Yeah, she's great.
And that's how it's like, because there is a very big difference between a personal assistant and an executive assistant.
Exactly.
Because an executive assistant has that skill set to help you really scale your business.
100%.
And so, this is the segment where I always ask people at the end, what has been your experience? Have you worked with an executive assistant? What has that been like? Or if you haven't, why haven't you?
I haven't, because I just haven't met anyone, like I said, of the caliber. Like I have very high expectations the way that I do things, and people let me down. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe my expectations are too high down. I don't know, but
they're not too high.
There's a difference, like I said, between a personal assistant, which is what I had, versus someone with the education and the knowledge that I can depend on, that can go have a conversation on my behalf and sound intelligent. You know what I mean? And someone just running your day. I'm not saying she's not intelligent, but just running your day-to-day errands,
right?
And, doing small things for you,
right?
Totally different.
And I think that's kind of another reason why I've started this podcast, because filling in that knowledge gap. A lot of times people hear assistant, they think glorified secretary. There's like this negative condescending thought associated with an assistant. But when you get to a certain level of being an assistant, you're really more like a chief of staff. You think like your executive, you walk, you talk like them, you really become an extra set of hands, like an extension of them. And so when you have that person who's operating like your right hand, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Suits. I always reference this.
I watch Cocomelon.
It's a great show, and it showcases that relationship perfectly, because Donna and Harvey, it's like she's his backbone. Like he can't function without her.
Yep.
She's the one that sets him up for success. And our job is to make our clients shine, to make our executives shine. If they're, in the right light, then we're doing our job well.
Do you work with any other chefs?
No, I've never worked with a chef before. I'm not familiar with that industry. My support does extend to any industry because every business has administrative needs, right?
Correct.
Calendaring, email, booking travel, doing expense reports, social media management,
That's
some
PR
kind of.
Sure, social media.
Yeah, there's so many different things that I do, and because I have the executive assistant corporate background paired with also being an entrepreneur myself.
Yeah.
I bring a different kind of expertise and skill set to the forefront. And I realized there wasn't much of that, which is why I started my second company, which is called Virtual Victorious. So I have an army of minions that I've trained myself.
I love it.
That literally can do what I do. I created an online course. I teach them myself, and then I interview them myself and make sure that I pair them with the right executive.
You're smart. You got it going on. See?
But this is because there's a lot of people that they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And that's the what I'm hoping to do with this podcast, with my company, is to really make my mark in the world, and in the sense of what kind of assistant do you have if she's not a virtual Victoria?
Well, people need to be more open-minded. People are so freaking closed-minded.
Yeah.
And think they know everything, and that's the biggest problem. You don't know everything. You can always learn more. A
perfect example could be you, Miss On the Go So Quick. I've been trying to land you as a client for years.
I know, we're going to talk over this.
You know what I think it is it's not anything to say badly or poorly about any entrepreneur. It's that we're on autopilot.
Yeah.
We're so busy. We're moving at, light year speed.
Yep.
So it's hard to slow down and actually listen to someone and say, no, I can help you. Yep. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. It's like sometimes you're just, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So having that intentional time like now, or, we've had a couple other conversations and different run-ins and things, but it's like, you don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'd love to
I'm glad we
have the conversation with you and your husband.
Sure. Yeah, we will for sure.
Yeah, no, but thank you so much for joining me today and telling your story. I learned some things.
And we'll do a little food party, and
I would
maybe
love
do the viewing party at the same time too.
This is going to air a little later, so maybe we can actually get some of that footage and include it in the episode.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
You guys are gonna love it.
Where can the listeners find you?
Instagram is chef_Lawless. My website is flawlesscuisineinc.com. My cookbook's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Like I said, I'm a private chef. I do travel over the U.S. and come cook for everyone and anyone. So you guys want to book me for a special dinner?
Make sure you guys follow me, because when she has special events that hopefully I'll be planning, I'll let you know where you can get that book signed. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Lots of love and sparkle.
Bye.